Hello everyone, my name is General Fancy Pants, and welcome back to Memoria. When we last left off, we figured out the true nature of Saja, and we found out that she wasn't a princess after all, and that she was just a no-named girl basically, or just a random girl from the streets that Kasim brought into the palace and just basically for his own amusement. So we kind of learned a little bit more about Kasim and how he was basically just a jerk, spoiled kid, and kind of the motivations of why Saja was doing what she was doing and why she was so driven to make a name of herself. And it all makes sense now after figuring out her true her true past and her true identity. And it's all because Kasim basically drove her to it, really, that she wanted to be more powerful or more known than Kasim himself. So that kind of explains why she was doing what she was doing and why she was so driven to uh, make a name for herself and join the war and do all that, everything that she did. So, with that knowledge, let's go back into the burial chamber and set things right here. And let's see, let's go to the tomb.
Ryder, or whoever you are, come out.
Why do you obstruct her wish? She's unhappy. She wishes to be back in a time where everything was still good. You, of all people, should understand that. But it no longer matters what you think. The ritual is almost complete. A new ancient kingdom will grow from the oak wood.
Not if I can prove that Bryder was wrong. And she was indeed wrong.
Satya went into the garden, she took the mask, and she spoke the incantation. So did it happen, and so shall it remain.
It will. Listen, let me start at the beginning. Sadia entered the garden, she sat down and pulled out the mask. She looked into the mask.
I know that this is the end of the game, but man, I'm sad that it's kind of sad that it's ending. Anyway, she despaired.
And despaired in herself and her inability.
Why should she despair? She had my promise of blessed oblivion. All she had to do was read the incantation.
No.
So this is kind of interesting. Okay, so she couldn't do anything with the mask. She changed her mind, she couldn't read. This makes the most sense to me. She couldn't read, because especially back in that time, women weren't as educated, just culturally speaking. That's just how it was back then, like hundreds of thousands of years ago. And B, she was a very poor girl from the streets, which means that her likelihood of being taught how to read would be even lessened. So let's go with she couldn't read.
I'm sorry, Bryder, but Sadia wasn't as brilliant as you think. She felt persecuted and restless. She wanted to forget her own past and become someone else. She wasn't a princess, just a poor girl from the streets. And as such, she couldn't even read.
No.
Oh boy.
Forgive me,
don't think we'll be
Bryder.
seeing. I don't think we'll be seeing Bryda anytime soon. She ain't pretty no more.
That's that then. The riddle is finally solved. Why such a long face, Geron?
Yes, my friend? What plagues you so?
Nothing. Why are you so happy anyway? Sadia's fate proved to be false. You don't know any more now than you did before.
Very true. Very true. But perhaps not.
Oh, forget it. I'm sick of riddles.
Yes, Leave the dear boy in peace, Aleph. Fulfill his wish, and let's move on.
Yes, traveling is nice. I want to go to the sea.
Wait just a moment.
It's up to you, my friend. Do you want me to change her back? But I can only restore her body, not her memories.
Ugh. So, change her back or leave her as she is. I think this time around what I'm going to do is, usually in like previous Let's Plays, I usually just, let you guys pick. But I think what I'm going to do is I'll make a little bonus episode of some of the choices that we kind of skipped over or didn't look at throughout the last couple episodes, especially like with Saja's story. I'm kind of interested to see what happens if you go through the storyline to see if she was a princess, to see if it changes anything at all. I doubt it will, but this is what I would do initially. I would say change her back. So that's what I'm going to do. Change her back to a fairy.
I fought so hard for it. I want everything to be the way it was.
So be it. It is done.
Nuri? Nuri, can you hear me?
What's going on? Who are you?
My name is Geron. How do you feel?
Strange. I'm cold. What happened?
Come to the fire and rest. Then I'll tell you everything. Who you are, where you come from, and what wonderful adventures the two of us have had.
Adventures?
It all began last autumn. Crows had attacked the royal palace, and King Everden asked me to come up with a way to stop the plague. My search led me to a strange cave near a waterfall.
And thus ends the tale. Did you know that it would come to this? Oh, how can I know what you planned, and what was mere fortune? Until today, I would have sworn that the mask destroyed you. But that can't be. We know that now. Now, just so I don't make a mistake, there are only two possibilities as to what could have happened to you back then. The first, the more likely, has now proven to be false, which leaves only the second. I mustn't make a mistake. Here we go. When Saja entered the garden, she had the mask with her, but no ruby. Yet, when the mask was found, there was a ruby beside it. Now, it may be that it was Saja's ruby that was thrown into the garden earlier by the prince. But what if it was another? Oh dear. Oh dear. There's no going back now. Satinav! I say that there was not one, but two rubies. The real one was lost. The fake was taken from the garden by the mages and is now here in my hand. Saja couldn't read, but with my mask she could do magic. She could turn plants to stone. She could turn people to stone. What is a ruby, if not just another stone? There. And now to you, my dear. You descended into the deepest tombs, and you climbed the highest mountains. You danced with wind spirits and wrestled with demons. Abandoned by the gods, forgotten by time. Shahrazad, your time has finally come.
Wow. What an ending. What a game. First off, I gotta say, that ending movie, that little ending segment, wow. It was beautiful. I love the music in it. And it kind of is an interesting lead into a potentially third game, and I really, 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 really hope that Daedalic Entertainment is working on one, because, man, this game, I think, well, it definitely lived up to the standard of the first game. I think in some ways it surpassed it. And I only say that because I think the story was much more emotionally involved. Move the cursor out of the way. Yeah, I think that, I don't know, for some reason I felt a lot more empathy towards the characters, especially Saja. Saja was kind of like Nuri in this game, as like Nuri was in the last game, I should say. In that she was kind of the exact opposite of Nuri, really. She was driven and focused and just would do anything, really, to get what she needed to accomplish. Whereas Nuri was lighthearted and just easygoing, a free spirit, and just sort of went wherever the winds took her. And I think it's an interesting transition between the two ladies, basically, in the game. And I think that Geron and Nuri's story would make sense if it ended right here. If there is a next game, I don't know that there is, at least at the time that I recorded this video anyway. There's not a third one, not that I know of anyway. And if they do make a third one, I hope that it's Saja, and I hope that it sort of, I don't know, gives her a redemption in the end. Because, I mean, she went so far, and it was basically, she ended up failing, which I guess is a realistic possibility. I mean, that's, you know, just because you go set out to do something doesn't mean you're going to succeed at it. But I hope that for her sake, that they make a game in that it'll be focused more on Saja and Helef, the staff. And that maybe Geron and Nuri would be maybe a little bit part of it, and maybe it'd be sort of a, I don't know how they would do it, but if they do sort of a side-by-side thing where Geron would be doing something, Saja would be doing something else, or if they'd work together somehow to accomplish whatever it is that they need to accomplish. But man, this game was amazing. I really, really hope you enjoyed watching this playthrough. I hope that you found it entertaining and you found it interesting. And I would say, even though if you did watch the full playthrough and now you know really the answers to all the puzzles, I really hope that you'd play it, because, like I said, this game is much more emotional, I'd say. Now we're back at the menu screen, but I'm going to keep rambling on here. But yeah, this game is definitely, I think, much more emotional than the first one. The first one was definitely good, don't get me wrong, but this one just felt different. It felt more, the characters felt more real and felt more alive, and I don't know if you can really truly experience that just by watching it on YouTube. So I'd say, you know, go out and purchase it and play through it and just really enjoy the characters and the atmosphere of the game. And really enjoy the puzzles and the story of it, because I really like the lore of this game, and I really liked how it expanded upon the universe. And yeah, it was a great game, and I understand why they call it Memoria now, because really the whole thing is all about memories, and Memoria, I think, is basically a word having to do with memories. I don't know exactly how it's correlated, but yeah, it's all about losing your memories and remembering the past, and losing your memories. Nuri lost her memory completely by about roughly the middle of the game, maybe a little further into that. Saja at the end basically tried to lose her memory, but she couldn't, because she didn't know how to read the mask and or the inscription on the mask, and she probably didn't remember it from when we did the incantation a long time ago. the staff is trying to piece together his past. It's all related back to just how you remember things and how things in the past. And I guess what's really cool is, this just came to me, is that what you remember isn't necessarily the truth sometimes, in that sometimes you embellish your memories and sometimes you forget details and you fill in the blanks with your own maybe wishful thinking or what you thought happened, but it didn't actually happen that way. And other times you remember things very vividly, but in this game it's just how the Garden of Oblivion is kind of like filling in the blanks where it may or may not have happened, but if that's how you remember it, then that's what's true. And I think that's a very interesting way, and I don't know if that's based off of lore in real life, like if it's based off a legend or based off of a, I don't know, like some myth at some point. I don't know how much of this game is just pure originality and how much of it is based off of other fairy tales and things. But anyway, I've rambled on far too long. Just play this game if you haven't. Just do it. Play the whole series. Play both games. Start with the first one. Play this one, and just enjoy it. Like I said, and I really do hope that you enjoyed watching this series as much as I enjoyed playing through it for you guys. And I do appreciate all the views on it, and I do appreciate all the feedback and the shares and the likes, and just thank you guys so much for watching it and enjoying it. And I will see you guys in the next Let's Play. Until then.